After Arsenal's disappointing result yet again against Brentford, I might as well console myself with 1-2 lies. Now, again, I hope it's not a lie because Gyökeres, which hasn't signed for Arsenal yet, Bukayo Saka on the right, and Rodrygo on the left, unpopular opinion. And I don't want to add fuel to the fire. We're all about talking about criticisms, but it would be scapegoating. Rodrygo said his best position is in the number 10. To play for Real Madrid, maybe not so much the best case study against Arsenal, but you have to work hard off the ball. And that's something they've done when they've won multiple trophies. Could you imagine Gyökeres through the middle, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli / another guy, Rodrygo in the 10, and the option of Martin Wondergaard, Thomas Partey, maybe Zubamendi, and Declan Rice. Pardon me. And then you wake up and you see exactly the bleak options we have in our squad, and the manager is only bringing on people in the 85th minute. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, I've got time for you lot. I love my club. But yeah, man, I'm all about the performance. You lot actually have seen I only get animated, even when we've won around the performance. But I'm waffling, man. Smash the like button. Big up you lot. Make sure you're checking out my other Arsenal content. Allegedly, Rodrygo's starting price is close to 100 million euros. Arsenal have asked about him in recent days. Now, again, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Two people holding shirts. Who knows? It seems like obviously Carlo's leaving. Xabi Alonso's coming in. It's Real Madrid. They always want the best players. You know, they've been quite cute and clever at somehow getting stars without necessarily spending big money. I know recently, I don't know Camavinga's one, but definitely Tchouaméni 100 odd. You know, the Rodrigos, the Viniciuses, they got them when they were emerging talents. Mbappe's come for free. Trent is going to be a free. Rudiger and Alaba were free. Obviously, they come with big wages. And off topic, at the time of making this video, Arda Güler, who's normally linked with Arsenal, with all the Real Madrid players, scored an absolute screamer. So there might be players that could be sacrificial lambs. Apparently, we've seen rumors this week. Rodrygo feels he doesn't get any credit or enough respect that the Viniciuses and Mbappe's get. So he might want to go somewhere where you're going to be appreciated. So take all of this with a pinch of salt, people. But if you could get Rodrygo, I'm on that. No clue for his wages. You'd imagine he'd be one of the highest earners. And if we're going to give Partey a new deal, Saka, Saliba, other transfer business, who knows? If Rodrygo wants to sign for Arsenal and this was legit, say yes from me. So yeah, apparently Arsenal have asked about him, but we can't be alone in that, people. Liverpool have been linked. Liverpool will be a good move. Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Manchester United, everyone and their nan are going to be linked with him. The only one we're missing is probably Paris Saint-Germain, if I'm completely honest. Manchester United, and it says 80 million here. So seems a bit of whispers, man. Rodrygo, if Rodrygo leaves the club this summer, the club would like to replace him with a Hosselu type forward. Now, they are linked with Gyökeres, and I think probably against Arsenal it was shown because they're crossing the ball and they don't have a target man. We all know what Hosselu did. Of course, maybe they could get a quote-unquote second fiddle striker because they're going to play, assuming he stays, the Rodrigos, the Viniciuses, the Mbappes, but none of them are out-and-out nines, and I do think they need one of those. Bit like us, really and truly. There are 5 players who could leave Real Madrid this summer. Jesus Valero, Lucas Vasquez, apologies, Luka Modric, David Alaba, and Rodrygo. The club would love to sell Mendy and Fran Garcia too, but they don't want to leave. So that tells you they want to sign a left back as well. I would take Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid, formerly of City, but we haven't been linked. We have previously heard this week, and for a million times to be fair, Andrea Berta is pushing to sign Gyökeres from Sporting, according to Sky Germany. Newcastle will rival Arsenal for the signing of Roma centre-back Ivan Ndika, who's rated at 30 million. Eze's informed Crystal Palace he wants to leave the club this summer. Aston Villa, City, Newcastle, Spurs are all interested in the 26-year-old England international. Should we be getting involved in Eze? Let me know your thoughts. We have been linked with Ollie Watkins, and every now and again we're re-linked with Ollie Watkins. Apparently Chelsea will be prepared to meet Aston Villa's 60 million asking price for Ollie Watkins if they fail to sign Victor Osimhen. Cherky has decided he wants to join Liverpool this summer. Great move for them. Spurs is seen as the highest competition. I mean, Spurs, small club, gonna play without any real pressure. A young squad could be one of those, like Lyon's a big club, but sometimes you have to take a step back to make a step up. So you go from a big club like Lyon, a tiny small club like Spurs, learn your stuff, and then you go elsewhere. I have to throw shade. I got nothing else. As I said, I'm sour because we lost yesterday, people. Again, Andrea Berta is pushing to sign Gyökeres. Crystal Palace will demand 80 million if they are to sell Wharton, who's drawing interest from Liverpool and Man United. Be great signings for them, be great signings for us. I personally think they hold on to Wharton. Any money talks, but I think they hold on to Wharton for a year or two. Next summer is one with the World Cup and him doing what he's doing. I think Gerhi and Eze are probably the ones that depart. Potentially Mateta. I wouldn't say they want to sell Mateta, but strikers are all the range and he's playing out of his skin. money makes it makes the world go round, didn't it? John Stones is free to leave Manchester City. Juventus, West Ham, Everton, and Brighton have all been linked. Should we go for him? Can play in midfield, can play centre half, obviously right back. Premier League proven, gets a lot of injuries, unfortunately. Now, silly season, people. Arsenal and Atletico Madrid allegedly have inquired about potentially signing Anthony, which, to be fair, confidence goes a long way. He's clearly confident and more valued at Betis, and maybe that's just a better team and league and fit for him. He's playing out of his skin, but I mean, come on. 10 out of 10 for the creativity, man. I would have taken him when he was at Ajax. Obviously, we dodged a bullet there, man. AC Milan want to bring Riccardo Calafiori back to Serie A in a deal worth 35 million euros. I don't believe that because there's a lot of speculation over players at our club anyways. Why make further ones? We'd be making a loss there as well after only one season. And I like Calafiori for all the things I think he needs to work on. I don't think it makes sense. Arsenal have been linked with the Leicester City starlet Bilal El Khanous. I'd have him. Can play 10, play out wide, play centre mid. Good technical level, got mean shot on him, versatile, 20 years of age, so scope to get better. We need quality, we need quantity, we need depth, we need strength in depth. I don't know why I don't believe this, but I wouldn't be against it. Look at the options we have on the bench with the greatest of respect to them. Bournemouth and Arsenal allegedly are battling it out to sign Garcia, the Espanyol keeper that we know have been linked with. Arsenal and Liverpool allegedly are best placed to sign Frankie de Jong this summer, with Manchester United set to lose out once again, people. We've gone over the Walton stuff, so no need to do that again. What is this again? We've gone over the Anthony stuff. So scary. I have to mention it twice. We've gone over Calafiori. Why have I got double tabs? We've this week been linked with Adamola Lookman, and allegedly we've added the Atalanta player to our shortlist of attacking targets. Interestingly, he's also linked with Barcelona, and they seem to prefer him over Nico Williams. So all the rumours, depending where you read, it's just a merry-go-round, essentially. Zinchenko could leave Arsenal this summer with interest coming from Borussia Dortmund. Do you lot think he should go? Do you think he should go? He's seen as a left-back, can play as an 8. Maybe with Odegaard's form, maybe not necessarily. And I know he got an assist, maybe not necessarily with PSG coming, but surely he's an option in the 10. And again, maybe for depth purposes. Now, we need to buy other players. Zinchenko's got a year left on his deal. He's on big money. I think the writing's on the wall. I don't know if bids were actually placed, but we did see rumours both Atletico Madrid and the club mentioned him. Borussia Dortmund tried to get him in January, so we'll see what's going on there. Man United, Chelsea and Spurs are all competing to sign Hodgson, who is set to make a decision on his future this summer. Fabrizio Romano said that. That doesn't really tell us anything. Unfortunately, he scored against us, and he's a pretty chill guy. I think he had a very good performance, man. Obviously, the goal is one thing, but, the way he tried to drive things with the, forward, the way he was playing out from the back, the way he's kind of playing left-sided centre-half as well, it makes sense. I can understand it, and I'll be all for it if we could. We've gone over Eze already, people. We've definitely gone over that. Apologies for any double tabs. We have been linked with Marcus Rashford. I don't think anyone believes that, but apparently Mikel Arteta admires him. It wouldn't surprise me, but it would surprise me. Big wages, decent transfer fee, and we know his quality, but we don't know his consistency, and I just don't believe it, people. We've gone over the Frankie de Jong stuff, people, but apparently 40 million euros is what gets it. Now, Barcelona seem to be struggling every season financially, and I just think there's a couple of players that are always linked with moves away. De Jong is one of them. Ronald Araujo is one of them. Probably where Arsenal are concerned, Jules Koundé is one of them, if I'm honest. And actually, Rafinha every now and again. They've probably quieted down now that he's obviously grown in prominence, people. I think he's got the talent, but I think you're in a good way. You're a typical Arsenal player during the Emirates era, and in a bad way, you are in that. I think you got the talent. I'm not quick criticizing your mentality in you as a person, but when the chips are down, I'm not asking you to, dribble past everyone and get a million goals. But are you one of those that are on the Declan Rice kind of thing, or are you one that sings on brand? And that's what I mean. Of course, can play as an 8, can play as a 6, can play centre half, cultural centre half. He said he wanted to play for Arsenal. He said he envisioned his career to go Ajax, Arsenal, Barca. Not that I want to be a stepping stone. I'd be all for it. But decent fee. I don't think it'll be 40 odd million. Big wages. Does have an issue of injuries. I do think for as good as he is and the talent he's got, I don't think he shows it on a consistent basis. Like, he's been getting a lot of heat from the Spanish press, actually. I don't think he was that bad for what it's worth, but he's getting a lot of heat from the press in Spain about his performance in the 6-goal thriller, the 3-3 draw against Inter Milan, in which we will be doing a watch-along this week, so stay tuned. Reportedly, once again, Arsenal are reportedly making tracks to sign Anthony. You're taking the absolute piss. 30 to 40 million. That's a myth. And that's just lazy scouting. But in Berta we trust. I know you're not doing that. Flamengo director Jose Boto has announced that Jorginho would ideally join ahead of the Club World Cup. He said, if Jorginho comes in, it'll be after the season in Europe ends. I hope it'll be in time for the World Cup. Fair enough. And we all know he's departing on the free, people. Do your thing. Dean Hansen's next transfer could be wrapped up relatively swiftly, with Fabrizio Romano revealing that the Bournemouth defender is expected to choose his next club this month. He put in a great performance against Arsenal, people. Once again, Liverpool and Chelsea are tracking him. What did Romano specifically say? Hasn't said anything here. Juventus suffered an L because they sold him for peanuts and bought Lloyd Kelly from Newcastle. Newcastle won't tell you that because you helped them with their FFP stuff. Credit to Newcastle for seeing that someone could be finessed. 60 million euros release clause, which apparently can be paid in installments. I'd do it. I'd at least throw our hat into the ring. Allegedly, Arsenal to push for Gyökeres. Sesko is not giving up on his move, and he's hitting it. Whatever you say about Sesko, he scored recently at the weekend. He's actually done quite well in that regards, people. And apparently Rodrygo wants to quit Real Madrid. There's a bit more here. Rodrygo's failure to finish in the top 20 of the Ballon d'Or voting was said to have annoyed him, and he's now realized that the focus on Mbappe, Vinicius and Bellingham at Madrid is proving too difficult to flourish with him. The 24-year-old has struggled to build on his impressive campaign last season and is currently in a bad run of form with just 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 22 outings. Damn. He remains a favourite of coach Carlo Ancelotti, who ironically still being linked with the Brazil squad. Arsenal like Rodrygo's flexibility as he can play across the front line as well as his scoring ability. I hear it, and he has often been a substitute, but it is what it is. Arsenal have not given up hope of Gyökeres, but fear they've already lost out to Man United in the race to sign the sporting striker, says Football Insider. And I'm going to speak it into existence unless Bilbao or Bodø/Glimt come from behind in the semi-finals. Ideally, you want that to be the final, not Spurs Man United. I know the TV rights people probably want different. Champions. I don't think Champions. I do think people do a lot with the whole Champions League affects big clubs to sign players. Like all the clubs, Arsenal, Chelsea, not even Liverpool, but Arsenal, Chelsea, because Liverpool been in the champs. The big teams are still signing people. Obviously, financially, there's implications. And if United not scumbag, because they would have earned the right with Europa League, but they've been poor domestically. They do what they do of just win trophies. They get Champions League. That helps the accountants with a bit of creativity. He's got Champions League, playing for a big club like Man United, former manager in Amarin, bit like Arsenal. If you're a half-decent striker and you don't believe you can grab that Man United number 9 shirt or that Arsenal number 9 shirt, and either club are interested in you, they should probably stay clear. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, no need to really speak about that, if I'm honest with you. We've gone over that. Arteta, man. Arteta, bro. Come on, fam. What were we doing against Bournemouth?
Like